Freak. I can't remember. Did you pick it? The Patriots?
Oh, yeah, I picked the
Okay,
Bills.
of course. If you don't remember, I picked the Bills.
I picked the Bills all the way. It was the week before that I got a little emotional with Carolina. But really, for the Bills going forward, I mean, listen, I think you're in a great position. Don't play around with Atlanta. Don't play around with New York. Let New York go through what they're going to go through with Tom Brady this week, and then just let them wrap up their season and be ready for you next week. Atlanta, though, is right on that bubble. They're a little bit scary here because they're on the outside looking in. Maybe if they put a good showing against the Buffalo Bills, they could try to advance on. I don't think they will. Mm-hmm. I think the Bills defense has held them down all year long. And look what happened last week when they ran the football. So we had to bring in Bob because I know Duffy would never give me credit for how well they ran the football last week with Singletary. And look at that.
But Bobby's quarterback.
This is true.
He's throwing every day.
How more so than Allen? Allen had a great running day yesterday, too.
Well, two things that I wanted to get from you is first, is there a psychological push for the Bills having gotten over that hurdle?
I honestly believe that winning in New England was a huge milestone for not only the Bills, but for Josh Allen alone. Typically in a big game, the Bills have a tendency to play down in a level of football. I don't understand that whole concept, but this was the first time I felt they really stood up when it was meaningful, when it meant something, and when it had a huge impact on the playoffs. This was the first time I thought they really stepped up.
And who are you rooting for? You played for the Patriots. You've been in Western New York for your life.
I have Bills fans in my house. So I quietly squeeze for the Patriots.
You do?
Forever, quietly, just silently. But I thought to myself, if Buffalo can stop the run and make Mac Jones beat him through the air, I knew there would be just too much in front of him where he wouldn't make a lot of good, accurate throws. And that's kind of how it played out.
Yeah.
They couldn't play catch-up. New England's not a good catch-up team.
I mean, he's still a rookie quarterback. I mean,
love the guy,
as much as Mac Jones has improved, but you got a lot of tape on him. You got about 10 weeks of tape on him.
Right.
And so the Buffalo Bills defense was able to adjust. They knew exactly what happened last time. They weren't going to let that happen again, where the guy only threw 3 passes and still won the game. So, I mean, you kind of saw this coming forward until that Bills defense. But the Bills defense, first quarter, third quarter, they just shut everybody down. They wait for the offense to figure it out. The offense figures it out. They get a lead at halftime. It's still a good close game, but in that third quarter, they've done a great job adjusting, so they need to do that again.
And you're going to take a breath. You're going to play Atlanta. It's a 13.5 underdog on this. You worry about...
I don't know. I mean,
I overplay the whole trap game thing, but it's after the Patriots game, Atlanta coming in, 13.5 point line.
Don't sleep against Atlanta. I have a bad feeling against Pitts, who's had a great rookie year. Matt Ryan's a former MVP. I don't know if he's got enough in the tank here, but this is going to be real interesting for the Bills, because I have a feeling that emotional win last week, you can beat the Jets literally with half your squad. I still think the Bills will win, but it'll be closer. I will give them 10. I'm not 14. 2 touchdowns is a lot.
How do you prevent yourself from being overconfident?
I think there's a couple things that come into play here with this game this week. The Bills, if you look at the Pro Bowl selections, I think the Bills got completely dissed.
Yeah.
I don't think any of their secondary, both of their safeties didn't make it. I think Josh Allen is an alternative.
Yep.
Or an alternate. And you look at their linebacking crew, I think that they have something to prove on that defensive side of the ball. They've had some incredible games, but I think going into Atlanta, knowing if they win out, they win the division, I think that's motivation alone. I truly believe that Buffalo will step up. My only issue again in that game is if Matt Ryan gets hot, look out, because when he's on, he's on.
So just the one more thing. Again, the if you ever felt yourself before a game coming up flat, it says, we're in a little trouble because we're better than these guys, but I'm not feeling it today.
It's actually happened a few times to me in college, but typically you've got enough leaders on the team, a lot of veteran players.
Typically, do they?
They can turn the boat around. I'm having
because that's the first thing you brought up today.
Leadership. I'm having trouble figuring out who the leaders are in the locker room. I know Milano's a leader on defense. He plays like he leads. I don't know. I know Josh Allen is a good leader by example, but I don't think he has enough history with the team and enough as many years with the team. I don't know if quarterbacks typically are the leader, but I don't know how people respond to that.
Stephon Diggs, if I had to pick one guy, if they can get him going early, that game's over.
Do they cover?
I do think cover, yeah.
Do they cover?
Yeah.
I think they do not. I'd take the 13.5.